If Sally's leading your new company, where does that leave you?
I do have exciting news of my own, and I will enlighten you very soon.
Are you digging for dirt on me?
No.
Did Kane put you up to this?
Okay, what's it about?
Audra, there's something that you need to know about the kind of person she really is.
The Young and the Restless, Y&R recap for Wednesday, January 21st, reveals that Victor Newman, Eric Braeden, will spy Nikki Newman, Melody Thomas Scott, in Jack Abbott's, Peter Bergman, arms while Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, demands that Kane Ashby, Billy Flynn, pull the offer he made to Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson. On Kane's train, Sally will blast Kane for dangling Chancellor in front of Billy and potentially undoing all the progress he's made. There'll be some talk about Jill Abbott's, Jess Walton, reaction and the fact that Victor will go after Billy if he accepts. Kane will think Billy wants Chancellor more than anything else and will be frustrated over Sally standing in the way when Billy could have it all. Sally will stand by her belief that this is going to end in disaster, so she'll push Kane to pull the offer or else he'll hurt Billy more than he could ever imagine. At the Abbott mansion, Billy will give Jack updates on Kane's offer, but he'll spin it like he could be the one to protect Chancellor and preserve Catherine Chancellor's, Jean Cooper, legacy. Jack won't buy Billy's positive narrative and will blast him since this hurts Nikki, too. In the end, Jack will push Billy to do the right and noble thing for once by turning Kane down. At the Newman Ranch on Wednesday's Y&R episode, Jack will stop by and fill Nikki in on Kane offering Chancellor to Billy. Although Jack will hate all this and wonder how he can help, Nikki will already owe him so much for saving her life. Nikki won't know if she can express how much Jack's loyalty and friendship have meant to her. As Jack and Nikki pull each other into a warm embrace, Victor will walk through the door and look irritated at the sight of their hug. At Crimson Lights, Phyllis Summers, Michelle Stafford, will clash with Chelsea Lawson, Melissa Claire Egan, before Daniel Romalotti Jr., Michael Graziardi, takes his turn to lash out at her. Daniel will later vent to Tessa Porter, Kate Fairbanks, and apologize, but she'll think that's what friends are for. When Daniel seeks clarification on whether they're indeed just friends, Tessa will acknowledge that things are complicated for her right now. That said, Tessa and Daniel will be on the same page about something happening between them. Daniel and Tessa won't want to ignore their spark, so they'll lean in for a kiss. Back on Kane's train, Phyllis will grumble about her run-ins with Chelsea and Daniel. After Kane admits he offered Chancellor to Billy, Phyllis will fume since that's a big part of their empire. Furthermore, Phyllis won't have any faith in Billy to run Chancellor well since he's failed at so many things. Kane will defend his decision and make it clear that his opinion is the only one that matters here. Once Billy heads home to Sally, she'll express concern over Kane's offer leading to Billy's destruction. Billy will argue that he's no longer obsessed, so this is legitimately about helping Chancellor thrive. Sally will feel like Kane has an agenda, but Billy will think the offer's coming from a genuinely positive place. Despite Sally's worries, Billy will feel like Kane really wants to make things right. The Young and the Restless spoilers say Kane could land in more trouble than he bargained for if he continues down this path, so stay tuned for any alarming news ahead. The Young and the Restless, Y&R, spoilers hint that Chelsea Lawson, Melissa Claire Egan, might propose to Adam Newman, Mark Grossman. Will Chelsea flip the script by popping the question herself? In Y&R's January 20th episode, Nikki Newman, Melody Thomas Scott, was curious about whether Chelsea and Adam had discussed taking the next step in their relationship. Chelsea acknowledged that although the topic had come up, marriage wasn't something they'd gotten serious about. In fact, Chelsea got a little nervous that time Adam fake proposed to her at Society. Adam was just joking around, so Chelsea ultimately laughed it off in the end. However, Chelsea's conversation with Nikki made it seem like she's afraid of jinxing the good thing she's already got going with Adam. Now that Adam and Chelsea have reunited, they have a happy life together and have made a stable home for Connor Newman, Judah Mackey. Chelsea doesn't want to risk making waves, but she could change her mind about that soon enough. When Adam appeared following Chelsea's discussion with Nikki, Chelsea seemed tempted to bring up the marriage idea. Chelsea also reassured Adam when she realized he'd been worried she'd leave him over Newman's potential attack on Jabbo. Deep down, Adam seemed scared that everything he's rebuilt with Chelsea could slip away, but that's not how Chelsea wants him to feel at all. Adam may be too afraid of delivering a real marriage proposal if he fears Chelsea might reject the offer or run in the opposite direction. The last thing Adam wants to do is make Chelsea think he's rushing her into a step she's not ready for. That's why it might be a great opportunity for Chelsea to flip the script and propose to Adam instead. Chelsea might get inspired after her chat with Nikki and could potentially pick a very romantic moment for this proposal. With Valentine's Day just around the corner, that might be an excellent time for Chelsea to ask Adam to remarry her. It'd take the pressure off Adam and let him know that Chelsea's ready to go all in on their future again. Chelsea might decide she's done worrying and suggest marriage would just make their romance even better. The Young and the Restless spoilers suggest wedding bells may be ahead for Adam and Chelsea at some point, so stick with us for updates on any engagement news. The Young and the Restless, Y&R, spoilers hint that Sharon Newman, Sharon Case, could face a horrifying discovery. Will Nick Newman, Joshua Morrow, overdose and cause panic? Nick checked himself out of the hospital way too soon and popped an entire bottle of painkillers before he even made it through the night. It's clear that Nick's in excruciating pain due to his leg injury, so that could drive him to make an awful decision. Toward the end of the January 20th episode, Nick pulled out a bag of Matt Clark's, Roger Howarth, fentanyl pills. Considering how desperate Nick is, he may be on the verge of taking them and getting himself hooked. Y&R fans have already been speculating about an addiction storyline, so we have to consider the potentially terrible consequences for Nick. Could this also become an overdose storyline and leave Sharon in panic mode soon enough? Sharon will fret over how hard Nick's been pushing himself and will voice some concerns later this week. Nick's condition will definitely leave Sharon worried, but he may insist he's fine and hide his excessive drug use in the coming episodes. However, Nick clearly isn't fine at all, so it's easy to see that he's headed down an alarming road. As for Sally, she may also face a big decision regarding her relationship. Can Sally accept Billy for who he is and tolerate his vengeful side, or are they on the verge of a split? The week of February 2nd to 6th will no doubt bring more Dominic drama, but let's talk about something happy for a change. Y&R spoilers say Victoria and Nate Hastings, Sean Dominic, will keep inching back into romantic territory, so they may be a couple again soon. Meanwhile, Claire will refuse to give up when it comes to uncovering Audra Charles, Zuleika Silva, and Holden Novak's, Nathan Owen's, Los Angeles secret. Since Audra is acting cordial as part of her deal with Holden, Claire may pretend too while plotting a sneak attack.